Hello? 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 How are we doing this morning? I hope we're doing well. I do. It's Friday. Okay, not really, but it's my Friday. Good morning to you. Hope everybody's doing well. I had some things I was thinking about all night last night. So I don't want to say today. I'm gonna say it this morning. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It won't be something that everybody wants to hear, and especially politicians like myself at the moment. We don't like hearing it. It's called truth. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit here. Anyway, what is true? Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. First of all, before we do anything, let's tell you what the weatherman said today is going to be. Right now, if you were to go outside, you would find out that it is. You'll find out that it's 80 degrees outside. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. I don't. Sometimes you got to sneeze. You just can't help it. Anyway, good morning to you. It's 80 degrees outside in the capital city right now. The high today is going to be around, about like hot. Okay, nearly the same as it was yesterday. A 13% chance of rain today. Mostly sunny, though, and hot. High around 96 degrees today. On tonight, 24% chance of precipitation, partly cloudy, low 74 degrees. And winds light and variable. On tomorrow, a 18% chance of rain. I think this is what they say, precipitation. Intervals, of course, of clouds and sunshine. High around 94 degrees. Winds light and variable. I don't know what the variable thing means. I guess it means it comes and goes. I'm not exactly sure, but that's weatherman talk. But right now, as you rise and shine, it is 78 degrees outside, so it's going to be a warm and a hot day. But that's okay. We can handle it, okay? All right? There's no such thing as a bad day. Only bad things that happen in the day. Other than that, though, we are G-O good, okay? So, next up, of course, it is our daily bread, which is how we roll around here because we have to give the Lord some thanks for being on top of the ground one more day. Good morning. I'll be right back. Oh, so anyway, hang loose. Our daily bread. That's what's up next.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Sharing Jesus, was written by Amy Boucher Pye. Shortly after Dwight Moody came to faith in Christ, the evangelist resolved not to let a day pass without sharing God's good news with at least one person. On busy days, he'd sometimes forget his resolution until late. One night he was in bed before he remembered. As he stepped outside, he thought, "No one will be out in this pouring rain." Just then he saw a man walking down the street. Moody rushed over and asked to stand under his umbrella to avoid the rain. When granted permission, he asked, "Have you any shelter in the time of storm? Could I tell you about Jesus?" Moody embodied a readiness to share how God saves us from the consequences of our sins. He obeyed God's instructions to the Israelites to proclaim his name and make known among the nations what he has done. Not only were God's people called to proclaim that his name is exalted, but they were also to share how he had become their salvation. Centuries later, our call remains to tell the wonders of Jesus becoming a man, dying on the cross, and rising again. Perhaps we heard about God's love when, as Moody did, someone left their comfort zone to talk with us about Jesus. And we, too, each in our own way, can let someone know about the one who saves. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Isaiah chapter 12. I will praise you, Lord. Although you were angry with me, your anger has turned away and you have comforted me. Surely God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. The Lord himself is my strength and my defense. He has become my salvation. With joy you will draw water from the wells of salvation. In that day you will say, "Give praise to the Lord, proclaim his name, make known among the nations what he has done, and proclaim that his name is exalted. Sing to the Lord, for he has done glorious things. Let this be known to all the world. Shout aloud and sing for joy, people of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel among you." Let's pray together. Thank you, Father, for drawing us to you by your Holy Spirit and setting us free from our sins, Jesus. Fill us with your love and give us the courage to tell others about our transformed lives and how they too can be set free. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Okay. All right, I feel you. I feel you doing that. First of all, somebody turn on the camera. Sorry about that. First of all, let me congratulate my young man because he did something that I never would have done because I talked too much back in the day, and it never would have happened. Um, you know. Oh, let me get that out there. Okay. I mean, I had the wrong thing up there. Boy, I must be tired already. I had the wrong thing up there. But anyway, well, let me tell you about my sponsor here, and then we'll get on to my congratulatory thing to my son this morning. Anyway, don't forget our main sponsor is One Stop Wireless, Bill and Pay, and more on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. You can't beat them. Okay, they're right there. 320-2988. You need a cell phone? You need a cell phone, or you have a cell phone but it's off. They can take your cell phone and turn that phone back on. Okay, and put their service on, no matter where you got it from. Okay, there's a 99.9% chance they can take that phone, get that SIM thing out of them, whatever that thing's in there, and they can put it on their system, and you can have internet on your phone and everything for as low as $25 a month. Okay, you can't beat that. Okay, again, it's right there next to the gas station, right on the corner of Coliseum Boulevard and Atlanta Highway. Okay, you can't beat it. 3445 Atlanta Highway. You cannot beat it. Great people. I've used their phone all across America when I go traveling, which is rare. I don't hardly go any place because I keep seeing trucks in front of me. They're not there, so I had to go to the VA the other day, see if I can get me a pair of glasses. I mean, I'm sitting there putting my foot on the brake, and it ain't nothing. I'm thinking the truck's in front of me. Hell, what nothing there? So I think that you might not want to ride with me. I may be a little dangerous right now. So until I get my new glasses in, you probably don't want to get in the car with me. I'm just saying. You might want to do it for yourself. But anyway, getting back to our sponsor, One Stop Wireless and Bill Pay, at the corner of Montgomery, at the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. There's a gas station right there called Shell Gas Station. Trust me, you want to go in there and see what they got. They got Apple phone. They have Google phone. They have Samsung phone. They got all kind of phones. Motorola, believe it, Motorola still makes the phone. So just go down there and and see them. And if you are tired of your company, you need to be coming to those guys, because those guys do a wonderful job, as a matter of fact, of service, because they're local. And let's just face it, ladies and gentlemen, let's just face it. When you have an emergency in Montgomery, you can't go to Verizon. You can't go to them other folks, say, listen, we need some help for bags and stuff like that. Yeah, but you can go to these guys, school bags and all that kind of. You can go to these guys. You see, you can go to these guys and they'll help you. They'll write the check. Yeah, I don't know how much check, but they'll help you out if they can. Okay, but the big guys, now you got to put it in triplicate. You got to always, when you can, do business locally. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's us in this city and any city, Prattville, Montgomery, Millbrook, Elmore County, Wetumpka. We have to be the first priority in our own city, local people. I'm just saying, you might want to think that, you might want to put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope everything's doing okay with you this morning. Now, at 8 o'clock, Mr. Insler is supposed to come on and talk a little bit about data centers. Now, I have done some research in the last couple of days about data centers, and they are, if what I've learned is true, then I'm not necessarily that concerned as I was a couple of days ago with whether or not they are going to pass on that humongous power bill to the citizens of Montgomery or any city. Found out some stuff about that, and some of it's good. I'm gonna let you know about it. I'm gonna let you when Phil Insler comes on. We'll ask him about this. Okay, but he'll be around 8 o'clock or so. Guess he'll pop in the old virtual studio around around 8 o'clock or something like that, or somewhere within that frame. Okay. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well. Let me get this thing right here going up real quick so we make sure that we can see everybody. Okay. Good morning. Now, I do have one question this morning though that I've been wondering about a long time. I know to some of you this is not an important question, and I understand that. Before I get into politics or what's going on with the Democratic Party and Joe Reed and all that, I'm gonna get to that now. Listen, what's her name was Tabitha Eisner, which really was, I don't know. She's sounded to me she's more concerned with what you're doing in your bedroom rather than what you believe politically. I don't know. I learned something the other day. API, AAPI, Hispanic youth, Native Americans, I guess, disabled, and LGBTQ Democrats. They're more concerned with what you're doing outside the political realm than they are whether or not your vote counts. Okay, I mean, they don't really care about you. They care about your category. Okay, they really care. At least that's the way it seems like to me with her. They care about your category. Okay, if you I mean, listen, what you do in your private things ought to remain private. Honestly, private things ought to remain private. I don't care what you do. If you're a wacko, that's up to you. If you're in there whacking off, that's up to you. I don't care. Okay, why is that such? Why do Democrats think that your personal life, your personal choices mean so much to the rest of us? They really don't. I mean, why is that important? Because it is to separate us. Okay, and I believe. Listen, this is just my own thoughts here, but I believe that the Democratic Party wants to resegregate America. Yeah, I really do. I think that's just where they are. They want to resegregate America. Okay. Okay. A lot of things going on in Montgomery right now. The crime thing is the crime thing is again, I've asked the question on many occasions, and I will keep on asking until somebody comes up with an answer. How do we change the culture? How do we change the culture? Okay. How do we stop getting all of these pictures, all of these things every day? Like here's one right here. I mean, how do we change? How do we change this? How do we change the mindset of a group of people who seem to just be way out of control? How do we change that? I mean, are we destined? Seriously, like this guy right here. I mean, are we destined? This guy he's trying to kill somebody with a car. He said how young he is. What's going on in time and space? And that's going to get me back to my next thing. The other day, while I'm out there, as a matter of fact, I didn't know anything about it till after I got home. While I'm out in Sheridan Heights, evidently somebody. Okay, Brookville. Okay, appreciate that. I don't know how severe his injuries were or anything like that, but let me tell you what peeved me off about people out there. Not everybody, but some people got on internet and saying, we got 15 people running for District 3 and nobody showed up. Well, that was not true. I think that there are a bunch of people that were running for this job, were actually out there, didn't know much, like I didn't know. And I was out there standing on the corner, waving to my friend. I normally do sometimes. They said, I wonder who the hell is that? Is he homeless? But anyway, I waved to those guys out there. And for some reason, people think because you're running for a job, it is our job to go out there and stop the craziness that goes on in some of these communities. That's up to you guys. Running for even if we were in office, either one of us, we don't carry a gun or a badge. We don't carry that. It's not our job, okay, to run out there to every neighborhood when they act crazy out there and want to shoot one another. Yeah, that's not our job. We don't get paid to do that. Okay, I mean, I got paid to do that in the Army. I don't get paid to do that out here. Okay, we don't get paid to do that. What your city councilman can do, I think, from what I gather from my study of the position, is try to find some solutions to some of the problems before they happen, or at least try to figure out some philosophy, some philosophical principles they can put in place. And again, it's about changing the culture. One person's not going to do it. But I was so irritated when people get all on Facebook, all them people running and ain't none of them sure. How in the hell are we supposed to know when y'all gonna shoot each other out there? And even if I did know, what can I do? I don't get paid to go up a hill anymore. I don't get paid to put my life in danger because people out there are crazy. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. I mean, so what do you want somebody running for an office to do? Run out there and do what? To tell you that somebody got shot? But you already knew that. You already knew somebody got shot. Hell, getting shot around here is no big deal anymore. As a matter of fact, what surprises us often if we go through the whole weekend, nobody gets shot. That's how awful it is in a lot of our communities. So the question is, how do we change this stuff that's going on in our community? How do we change it? Okay, let me see. Hold on 1 second. Okay, that's up there, Pastor Knight.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Sitting here listening to you, you're right. But I'm going to tell you what's the craziest part about it. The person that's complaining, because I read that same post.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, they ain't even voting.
Well, that I don't know. But
No, yes, we do. I did a straw poll yesterday,
mm-hmm.
After Bible study,
mm-hmm.
in y'all district.
Mm-hmm.
It would blow your mind if you knew what the top 2 answers were. Top 3. Oh, God, top 3. The first one was, I don't give a you-know-what.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm with you.
That was the majority. Hey, I could care less. I don't give a you-know-what. And the reasoning for it is mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm.
They just flat out don't care. I said, hey, do you even know who the county commissioner is? They looked at me like I was speaking Spanish.
Well, most of us don't know. Most of us don't even know what district we live in.
Right. I said, what about your state house rep? Man, priest, what's going on, man? So I leave that where it is. The second thing I heard was, so who's all running? I said, damn, you don't see the signs around? Reading is fundamental. Y'all got signs all over the place. And they asking me, who's all running? I said, you don't know anybody? No, not really. I said, who you know that's running? Ain't this, we got to vote for Marche again, right? I said, Lord, have mercy, Jesus, on me. And this is what y'all are trying to it's going to be a low turnout because they don't care. They really don't care. And when something crazy happens, they want you to run to them. But they won't run to the police and tell them who did this stuff.
Exactly. But I'm going to take up for the people for a moment who don't know much of anything, because I believe that as representatives or wannabe representatives, that we probably are not, because it takes thousands of dollars to get everybody.
Man,
Michigan.
Kevin, I'm gonna kill all that right now.
Well, let me finish.
Stop. Stop.
Let me finish what I'm saying, then you go on.
Okay.
I think we have some responsibility to introduce ourselves to the people to let them know that who you are.
Really?
I do. Yeah. It's a twofold thing.
It definitely is, and I'm gonna go on the other fold.
Okay.
Jay-Z them have never graced Montgomery with their presence.
They got a lot of money to get publicity, though, brother.
But hold on, but the people that I spoke to know more about what's going on in Jay-Z house than they do what's going on in their district.
And that's probably everywhere.
Not over here, because I could care less.
But you can care less about what?
About what's going on in Jay-Z house.
Oh yeah, I don't either. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But I say this right here. We've got to get more involved, y'all. And you know, been there, done that. Y'all, as candidates, you put yourself out there. This is their district. This is where they live. Mm-hmm. This affects them directly. They should have enough gonads, a little pride in trying to figure out who it is that's trying to represent them so they can have some say, because they're going to all complain. You know, if you're going to complain, know who to complain to, know what to complain about. Yeah. And they're not putting themselves in position, and it's sad. Kevin, don't make no excuses for them. I'm not, please don't.
But you do believe. I'll tell you what. If people came to your church every Sunday, and they still don't know your name, maybe you need to tell them your name more often.
Well, here's the thing. That's not going to happen because my name is right there on the program, is on the marquee.
I got you.
If anything, they're going to know my name when they come in. Now, it's going to take them a minute to learn the members, but they know exactly who the pastor is. You know, y'all take Christ off the cross and put the pastor on now.
Right, but see, you make my point. They know your name because your name is on the program. Your name is on the marquee. Your name is, so they know. Well, all these people who are running for this office right now, again, I'd never heard of them. A lot of them, they never heard of me until this whole thing. I never heard of, you know. And so, and not because I'm ignorant, but because I had no reason to know who they were.
When you factor in, and that could be a strong point, but you got to factor in something. They're not making an effort to find out. They're not, and that's everybody has access to the internet. We're just gonna stop right there, because the WSFA, WAKA, I've read several people I've seen where several people have posted it, the list of candidates. It takes accountability and responsibility. They're doing everything but telling you who to vote for.
But
I could tell you who's running in the district, and I don't even live in District 3.
Yeah, well, and
so if I can do it, and I don't live in the district, certainly those that that live in the district can do it. We got to get to a point, Kevin,
I think people
where we stop making excuses.
And I hear, but whether it's an excuse or not, it's legitimate. It's kind of like fixing a car. You know, I don't know how to fix a car, but the minute my car breaks down, I wish I did. I don't worry about it because I take it to the shop and let somebody else fix it for me.
You know why they don't worry about it, Kevin? It's because they don't care.
Well, have we
they don't care.
Position to care? Because looking at
they don't care.
Well,
they don't care.
Well, listening to Eisner, to whatever her name is, Tabitha, she's more concerned about your race and your sexual activities than she is what your name is.
Oh, I've heard, and I'm going in the opposite direction of her, and just come August the 8th, I'm going in the total opposite direction of almost everything she's talking about. But that's on the 8th. I'm talking about your race. You know, that we're gonna take care of that on the 8th, and we're gonna see how the chips fall. But it's sad, you know, to some point, the constituents have got to do better. I'm not. You can't blame the people for running. That little article right there caught my attention because she was like, we got all these people running, and
right.
What are they gonna do about that? You can't do nothing about that.
Exactly. We can't.
You guys ain't even. You guys are not even in office.
Yeah, we got no power.
And if then notice what she left off.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say nothing about her neighborhood association president.
Who I've been trying to find out who it is out there.
Shouldn't they be visible and know, and people should know who they are?
Yeah, that
because they're in a leadership position. Shouldn't they be reaching out to the candidates to come in?
Yeah.
This is why you would think. This is why I keep saying it's going to be a low turnout, and I see why the guys and the women gave me the answers yesterday. They gave me it was so sad that it was comical, and it was so comical that it was sad. And they were straight faced looking, man, shoot. When is the election again? September the 1st?
Yeah. But I'm still gonna say though, it's a 25-75 thing, because I do think now with all those signs out there at Brookview, Sheridan Heights, I mean with all them signs out there, except my sign, I don't have a sign out there, but I got some. I just don't know nobody whose yard let me put it in. So I just carry it in the car. But all those signs out there, you would think people know something going on.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this, and I'll slide off. I know you got a lot of people that want to call in. How many neighborhood associations are there in District 3?
That I don't know. I looked at the whole thing yesterday because I couldn't even tell what district they were in. I mean, and they got a website, but nobody had a number. I tried to find people's number. Nobody had a way to be communicated. I couldn't find any numbers on the. If you go downtown, John Dow is in charge of the neighborhood something, and so I went on. Now they got them all out there. Are
you talking about Bonds?
Yeah, Bonds. I don't think he's in charge of Bonds anymore. They call it a neighborhood something. But you can go on the website and you can look at all the neighborhoods, and it'll tell you who it supposedly is, but there's no way to communicate with anybody. There's no number.
Watch this.
Yeah.
KK Middleton reached out to all of y'all, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, yes, he did.
And he's not even in District 3, right?
No, I don't know where he lives actually.
He's not in District 3.
Okay.
If a man can reach out and get a hold of every candidate that's running in this race, why can't the neighborhood association presidents do the same? Now, I don't agree with the location, but I agree with his effort. He's trying to get y'all, trying to make people know who you are. And he don't even live in the district. Why aren't the neighborhood association presidents doing the same, and they live in the district? You don't have to answer it. You still need their vote. You don't have to answer it. You still need their vote. Well, I can say it because they don't care.
Wait a minute. I can still tell the truth, vote or not. Again, I think it's probably. I mean, it takes a lot of money, and you know this. If you've never done this before, it is exhausting, and
it don't take a lot of money to put a form together. I can't go with that. The neighborhood association presidents, they have access to the community centers. One thing about me, I'm gonna cut the fat off this steak when you put it out there. They have access to the neighborhood. They have access to them community centers where they have their meetings. It wouldn't be nothing for them to invite you candidates in, and so they can get to know you.
Well,
give you about 5 minutes.
I mean, they may be inviting some in. I'm just not sure that they haven't invited me. But I don't know. I mean,
they hadn't invited any of y'all.
Yeah,
y'all went down there to Charles Lee and had kids asking y'all questions. Kids that cannot vote. But that was a whole nother. Thing.
But that still gave them an opportunity, though, to partake of the process. I mean, so that was.
I mean, so what? The kids are going to hold your signs on election day?
Well, again, I'm
just asking because they definitely can't vote.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well, look, I done took up enough
Yeah.
of your time, man. Look, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
This thing is going to be comical. I'm predicting about 600 people coming to the polls
Mm.
out of 22,000.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
All right, Doc.
All right. Appreciate it. Let me see. 7:43. Yes.
My God, somebody say about me calling. Why would you give him an hour to talk with that boy?
Now, why you? He ain't complaining about you. So what you complaining for?
Because I sit here trying to get on with that, and it's like,
Okay. Wait.
hey, on your data center thing,
Yeah.
what has Trump told them they can do?
I don't know. Tell me. I mean, I don't know everything. What did he tell me?
He's allowing them to generate their own power because the existing grid and everything will not accommodate the power that they're going to do. So they get to generate their own power, have their own generating place.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, there's a 60-month backlog on generators right now because of the power.
Well, they're going to use a generator.
No, they are.
Come in with small nuclear stuff and stuff like that.
Well, for the time being,
this ain't like a generator at your house.
I'm telling you what I know.
Never mind. Well,
there's a backlog. There's a backlog on generators because what's happening is that they are going to. It is purported that they are going to use propane. Okay, and therefore,
you're just so wrong. The amount of power they need is not going to be generated with like a small generator on propane. But let's move on.
I didn't say nothing about small. I didn't say nothing about small generators.
Can we move on? Can we move on?
Wait, you
talked about the culture. You talked about the culture, right?
Yeah.
You said a group of people. Who are the group of people?
What the people who participate and who partake.
And who are they? I mean, if you can't even define who the group is, how are you going to change it?
But we know who the group is.
Well, say it. See if it'll come out your mouth.
But we already know.
Say it. You can't even put it out your mouth. Why?
I say it all the time.
Say it right now.
But I don't. Again, they ain't listening.
Man, that's why you never solve anything, is because you can't say a problem is a young black male or off the chain. They're uneducated. They're not getting an education in the school.
Yeah.
But you can't say black males are the problem.
I've said it many times.
No, you will say it right now.
But I'll say it when I want to say it.
Right now.
I don't say
you
when
can't
you say it.
If you can't even admit who the problem is.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, I want to play Willie Durham for a minute. Can I play Willie Durham for a minute?
Well, I don't know if you
I
can
gotta
play
go somewhere. Let me play Willie Durham for a minute. Joe Reed is a crook.
And what makes Joe Reed a crook?
Apple don't fall, huh?
What makes Joe Reed a crook?
I didn't say it. John Knight and the Alabama State said he was a crook. They said he was a crook. Took his name off
Well, I think that was an internal. That was internal.
I'm just playing Willie Durham. He said he didn't call somebody a con man. He didn't call the president a con. Somebody else said. Well, I didn't call Joe Reed a crook. John Knight and Alabama State called him a crook and took his name off. That's a Willie Durham thing there. All right, I got places to go with people to see. I'm sorry for my fans. That'll be my call for today.
All right, good. We appreciate knowing that. Listen, I'm not going to call anybody a crook because they have figured out a way to maneuver the political process, and they have. I don't get upset about the yellow ballot. Listen, if you want to get somebody elected, and you use whatever means that are legal and that are ethical in order to do it, so do it. Don't get mad at everybody else. Now, when I first got here, I got on the bandwagon with everybody else against the yellow ballot, but I'm really not against it. Listen, if you're paying for those ballots and you are trying to make sure that your people get elected, then doggone it, let the other side put a blue ballot out, whatever the case may be. It's called enterprising. It is the American way of life. So I don't have a problem with that. Matter of fact, most of us wish we could have that kind of influence on other people. That's called leadership. we don't have, a lot of us don't have that kind of influence. Hell, I don't. I got a hard, when I go out to Sheridan Heights and all these places, hell, don't nobody know me. So but I make myself known to a few people out there when I go out there. But there are many other places in town you got to go. Can't stay out there in Sheridan Heights all day long. Although I did a couple of days ago, just looking around and talking to people. But again, I was merely talking about the lady who on the internet complaining about the people who are running didn't come out there. We didn't run out there after somebody shot somebody. There's nothing we can do, not a thing, except get shot ourselves. Okay, there's nothing we can do. Even if you're on the city council, there's nothing you can do about people shooting one another. Not a thing. Not a living soul can do anything. Once the round leaves the gun, the only person that can stop it from hitting this direction is God Almighty. Okay, we can't. A mortal human being like I am. Nothing I can do except try to stay the hell out of the way. Okay, let the police do their job. Call the police, not the city councilman. Call him after it's all said and done. See if he can do something about it. Give you some more patrols out there. Do something like that. But we can't get more patrols anywhere right now because we don't have the manpower to do it. So call the mayor's office. What's going on, Simpler?
Well, Mayor, you would be known if you would just apply and get voted into the club.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to get in the club now.
You will, once you get voted into the club, the I Am Somebody Club, they will make sure that you're known, and you'll get invited to all the chicken dinners.
Well, since I'm so sick and tired of chicken, I don't know what to do, brother. They're gonna come. They're gonna have to come up more than chicken to get me. I plan to work. I plan. I don't have to go to the man. I don't have a job. I'm not working for anybody except myself when I want to work on a computer or two. Other than that, to me, this is going to be a job, a full-time job. Because matter of fact, I tell you, I'm gonna see them so much out there. They're gonna tell me, please don't come back. Okay, that's what I plan to do, to know them, this district personally. Somebody got on me kids a minute ago. Well, how come you don't know what? I don't live out there. I got hard enough time worrying about my own neighborhood as a civilian and not a public office. I don't know them people out there. I don't know. Hell, Chisholm. I don't live far from Chisholm, except I lived in Chisholm one time when I first got here. I moved to Chisholm one night. And the next morning, my car was broken. I had an Infiniti. My car was broken and my glass was all out my car. I got the hell out of there real quick.
Well, when you enter some areas in Montgomery, they give you a chain to go, chain your hood down, and they give you those locking bolts to put on your wheels so they can't steal your wheels. You just didn't get your issued to you.
I didn't, and I called about it, and the man told me, I said, why didn't you tell me it was like that? Oh, he said, because we can't do that. I said, so you can't warn people when they ask you about a house, they are not allowed to tell you the criminal activity in the communities.
Well, beg for forgiveness. I did it on any occasion. Anybody asked me whether it was a realtor, whether it was a prospective home buyer, whether it was just a citizen wanting to move within the city. I told them, look at the annual crime report. If you don't believe me, but that's when we used to make an annual crime report, but we don't do that anymore because
I heard it's coming back. I heard it's coming back. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can. That's one of the things that you can present at the city council is that everybody needs to know what the annual crime report is in their city. Yeah.
But then somebody's going to say, well, they don't report what's happening in the other side of town. They only report what's happening in the hood. I said, okay. Whatever. Well, you remember a DJ that works for WXVI? I don't remember what his name. He had the greatest voice on the radio besides Robert Charles and Don Markwell. I forgot his name, but
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't call his name either. It'll come to me after a while.
But what he said, if you don't want to hear it, don't let it happen. So we're responsible for being known or unknown, but you don't have to worry about going to jail or anything like that if you don't do it. Well,
Mayor, I heard the conversation yesterday. And I heard again this morning talking about Trump was what was he, a scam, a sham, a scam?
Yeah, whatever name they want to use this week.
Well, nobody said that the biggest scam ever perpetrated on the American people was one. He's okay. He's all right. No matter what your eyes see, we're telling you up until the very last moment, until he signs that last, no, he didn't sign it. The auto pen signed it, that he's okay. When the vice president of the United States and the public information and all those members of his staff stood up there and lied to the American public until they couldn't lie anymore, until he was unveiled and they put him out there and they said, wow, we didn't realize it was that bad. That was a scam on the American people. So when they talk about Trump being a scam, they need to look in their own backyard.
Yeah.
Hey, have you heard anything about this outfit in Birmingham? It's called Urban, and the last part of it is ALCHEMY. Urban, ALCHEMY. And it was formed in 2018 out of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And they come into cities on the city's request, like the Birmingham mayor and the Birmingham City Council, and they will create what they call a green space.
Oh, yeah, I heard about the green space. Yeah.
Yeah, for homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
And
won't be green long.
They may have the same issue that you got with your dog issue.
Yeah. So it won't be green too long. I'm just going to tell you that much.
Well, listen, when you get on the city council, now listen out for this outfit. They come in and they want to show a city what to do with their homeless and create an area for them. See, history always repeats itself. This is what happened in Los Angeles back in the 20s and 30s. They created a one block area called Skid Row.
Oh yeah, they did.
And that was where all the homeless people were supposed to stay and not be in the public days, And
well, let me ask you, what was the name of that organization that came to Montgomery a couple of years ago? And we gave them close to $1 million because they were supposed to help us with crime. What do you remember the name? And I said to myself, nowhere in hell, coming from St. Louis, they're going to come to Montgomery and help us with crime when we can't even help ourselves. Remember, and the mayor and them gave them all this money, and the city council did too. All this money.
I've got it, and I'll text it to you later. I can't recall it right now. But see, this is what these blue cities, these blue mayors are doing. And this is where, they don't come here for free. And there are plenty of people in UAB in Birmingham. There's plenty of universities up there that can get, but they've got to do this. This is what they do. They go find these liberal, left-wing socialist organizations and bring them into the city and pay them, and then they're gone. But please, when you're on the city council, listen out for this Urban, ALCHEMY, out of San Francisco. They'll be coming to Montgomery. They're charlatans and they're wanting money, and we're ripe for picking.
Yep.
Have a good day, Mayor.
I appreciate it. Matter of fact, evidently the mayor of the city of Montgomery I guess there's a disagreement with the FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, at least 1819. Why is 1819 news infatuated with Montgomery? I ain't mad at him, but why did he? Why did we Why is it such a big deal? Why they coming down here? I mean, I ain't mad at them, but they got a lot of cities in Alabama. Okay, Everett Johnson wrote an article, and I'll get to that in a second. Yes, Duke.
How you doing, Mr. Calvin?
I'm doing fine.
I hear some of they slobbering all over Trump, slobbering and carrying on behind. Talking about what Trump. If somebody say something about Trump, y'all feelings get hurt. Calvin, are you aware that Trump approval rating is at 34%?
I don't care about that. I really don't.
In the history of the country.
This is Montgomery. I don't care.
I mean, see, there you are, right? You worse than Steve. See, I can talk about your cult leader, can
I talking about Montgomery.
Don't get mad. Don't get mad because this damn thing is at 34%.
Call me back. I'm not talking about. I'm trying to talk about my Alabama. I don't care what goes on in Washington, D.C. You can't change it. I can't change it. Only thing we can do is go vote, hope to change something at some point. But y'all got this Trump deranged syndrome on your brain. You know, Anyway, sure wasn't the administration really recently at a meeting with who knows. But anyway, Everett Johnson. Now, you want to stick to one particular issue, we can talk about it. I don't want to hear anything about what Trump is doing in Washington, D.C. We got problems right here.
Hey, Calvin, didn't you and Steve just discuss Trump a little bit?
He did. I didn't.
But you let him do it, right?
Because you have a derangement. You won't be quiet. Let nobody else have a conversation with you.
Hey, Calvin, I simply said that his approval rate is at 34%, and you just went all over me and just shut me off.
I don't care.
It should matter.
Why?
I mean, this man he done a piss poor job for this country, man.
Well, see, 34 out of 100. That means
34%, man. Right. He's done a piss poor job, Calvin.
Why don't we talk about that other?
But to you right now, let's stick to the local stuff then.
Yeah.
I heard Pastor talking to you earlier about people don't know you guys, don't know who you are.
That's everybody. Know some people.
So how you gonna separate yourself from the others, Calvin?
I'm already separated. My thinking process is a hell of a lot different than most people.
Well, what give us something to think about then. Give us something to the listeners to make us feel that you're gonna help these individuals in that area. Make me feel comfortable that you should be the one in that spot. Make me feel comfortable that you helping our people in this city.
You don't live in the district.
Go ahead. I'm talking about. I want you to. I'm for all the people. I mean, whatever area.
You don't live there,
Kevin. My point is, Kevin. I'm supporting all the people in the city. Okay, whichever side. Okay. Oh yeah. I want those people in that area to do good as well. I want them to get the best representation they can get. Okay. If you're that one, let me know you're that one. Tell me what you're gonna do for these people.
Well, first of all,
I'm like dog boo boo.
I'm like which you keep missing the point on the dog boo boo. Y'all still missing it. And
you came out and said that was your main thing. Hell,
no, I did not say that's my main thing. I tell you,
said one of them. Give me number two then. Give me a number two thing you want to do.
It is attached to everything else that's going on in some of our.
Give me a number two thing you want to do.
Get more policemen. That's a big thing. If we have more police officers on the streets, we could probably deter a lot of the crime that's going on in our.
What's your plan? Because you go say hyperbole and that stuff with other people. Again, what's your plan on getting these police?
Well, again, I can't hire policemen.
You said you threw that at me just then. What's your plan on trying to
I'm gonna give my ideas to the rest of the council and let them cogitate on it and see
what's your idea.
Well, I ain't finna put it out here for everybody to hear.
They need to hear. You want these people to vote for you. They need to hear what's your plan and what your ideas are. You ain't got nothing. You don't want people to vote for your ass because you're black. People ain't vote because you're black. Nah.
Well, I've been one of the few black guys in town don't care nothing about being
Kevin. People ain't gonna vote for your ass. So you getting in there thinking people they're gonna pick somebody just because they black. They want to know what the hell.
Everybody but one or two guys is black. What's that got to do with anything color? What's that got to do?
You got to separate yourself from it.
I am separate. My thinking process is matter of fact, I've been separated for 35 years since I've been here with my thinking process.
Well, tell me what your thinking process on this is.
I don't think you want to help. I don't think you can handle.
I want to hear. So I want to come out there and help campaign for you. If you tell me something that you.
If you were in District 3, we could have that conversation.
I'll come out and help you anyhow, just for the hell of it. Just to,
listen. Since
talk out of the way.
Since you're not,
talk to me though, baby. What's your plan? Though? Come on, give me the plan.
I don't have a plan. I have a process. I have a process.
Boy. Let me find something to do, boy. Cause you.
Let me ask.
Bye, man. Bye, Kevin.
Let me ask you a question.
Talk to me.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
How long you been in Montgomery?
I've been here. I moved here at 86.
Okay, so how many years is that?
I've been here 40 years. Okay?
You've been here 40 years. Me, I've been here for 35. I've listened to every city council race in the last 35 years. I've talked to every mayor, and I've talked to every last one on the city council. The only person that's running that has done that. I've been in communication with everybody. So that was my job. So now let me ask you.
What's your point, though?
Wait. I'm getting to it. So after you've been here for 40 years, all of a sudden, have you voted in all these 40 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you've been voting for all these 40 years and all this stuff. Did you ask them what their plan was?
Yes.
Really? And what did one of them say their plan was?
Well, to make sure that the people grass being cut in the area, because some places don't cut the people grass like they should, and things like that. I asked questions.
So they didn't promise.
I asked these people. Okay, like I'm asking you, Kevin. Okay. I asked you what was your plan. If I lived in your area, I call your ass every day. What's your plan, Kevin? What you gonna do if I vote for you? And I'm trying to get my vote.
And I will tell you the same thing that
you know what I'm saying. I'm not one of the what they want to call what Trump called these blacks that are.
See, you don't want a conversation. You want an intimidation. Okay.
If you sit here and let Steve and Curmudgeon run their mouth on all this stuff, okay?
But then
say what the hell they want to say, and you don't interrupt them at all. But when I come on, you want to insert every little thing, every little word I say. You want to try to attack it.
At least I do get a chance to have a conversation.
Go ahead, talk. Tell me what you gonna do. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet for 5 seconds.
For 40 years. You voted for people in the city council, mayors, and all that stuff, and we are not. We're in worse shape now, at least from our community standpoint, than we were when I got here. I got here in '91, and you know what? It's a different place from '91 now.
But
so why are you worried about me, and you didn't worry about them?
Because I know you, and I've been listening to you for years, and you played this conservative role. You played this conservative role. I want to try and see what you're going to do for these poor black people in this area.
I have never said I was conservative. I said I'm a moderate that leans right.
Well, that's close enough. Damn it, you all look.
See you later, man. See you later. Okay. See you later. Okay. Whew. This is not a broad cut of Medicare funding. Trump is not ending subsidies for Medicare overall. Okay, well, I don't really worry about Medicare too much. I don't get it. Well, I mean, they gave me a card. When you hit 65, you get the card, but I ain't never used it. I ain't never even took the card out of my my wallet, just in case. So again, we vote for lots of people. For 40 years, he didn't vote it. Evidently, he didn't ask the other people what their plan was. Okay. I guess he didn't ask what the plan was. You know, Ralph Featherstone was the guy, and he always had a saying: if you don't want to hear it, don't let it happen. Okay, and I totally agree with what they're saying. He's the only person I ever heard say that. Okay, then let me see what else is going on. A few people you thought listened to you on 1440. Fewer people than you. Well, a talk radio has never been a talk radio is for more the intellectual people. Just to tell the truth, it's more for the intellectual people and the thinkers. It's not for folks who want to shake their butt and go get barbecues all the time. That's not what it's about. It was about information. And as you can see, what we lack in our community is information. Okay, so you're absolutely right. I was never under the impression that I knew once I got in that business that especially black folks don't listen to talk radio. They just don't. They listen to gospel and gospel music and the blues, which I like some of the blues too, as a matter of fact. But my main listening pleasure was listening to talk radio and getting free information. And think about it. We got people with PhDs, master's degrees, giving us the benefit of all their knowledge for free on talk radio. Okay. And that's how I learned a lot of things. And here's another thing. Since I started listening to talk radio, I never reached in my pocket and was broke. Never. Because information is the bloodline to living in this country. It is the thing that you need to do anything. It's information. Okay. I've never been broke since I've been here, listening to talk radio. Not that talk radio helped me out a whole lot, but the free information that you can get from people who are willing to pass it to you is invaluable. And we don't do that because we like going to see who's the guy over there and who's the two guys in Birmingham right now. A lot of people leaving Montgomery spending hundreds of dollars going over there to see Chris Brown and what's the other guy? Usher, which I think they get for. I just never listened to them. I listen to talk radio. I never listen to music radio. Any music I listen to, it's from the 1970s. Music I listen to is from the 1970s and 80s. Anything after that, I don't listen to it anymore. It was trash anyway, most of it. Yes.
Mr. Elkins.
That's me.
How you doing this morning?
I am doing fine.
I'm glad you mentioned the Usher and Chris Brown concert. I went to it last night, and it was fire. Fire.
I understand. How much you pay for that?
That ain't your business.
Okay.
I paid some good money.
I know you did.
Sir. Hey. I paid good money.
Give me a second.
And both of them guys put on a show, man.
I get it there. Did you pay over $200?
No, I did not. I didn't.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Listen, call me back when I get done with my guest and we'll talk about it. I got my guest on right now. He's
Ooh, they pulling the show, man. Bye.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He gonna watch us spend all that money. Next week he be trying to borrow $2 from me so he can pay the light bill. Okay, I'll loan it to him too. I will for an interest rate on it. Anyway, in our virtual studio is a man that I admire. He's a Democrat, but I like him. Okay, which matter of fact, you and Shamari Figgins are the only Democrat that ever voted for.
Well, I appreciate that, Kevin, and it's always good to be on with you. I'm used to being in the studio, but I know you have this virtual setup going now.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, I called you yesterday because I was concerned, or we talked some kind of way, about, and you seem to be concerned about it too, about the data centers. When I hear that, I think of electricity. I think of the water. I think of the electricity that's used, and I want to make sure that we, the citizens of Montgomery, or any community, don't get hit with a bill, and whether or not the PSC has any control over how they pare out the cost of this. Is there a possibility that people in Montgomery will pay some of the bill?
Yeah, so I'm glad you reached out about this issue. It's a huge issue, and I'm running statewide for lieutenant governor, and it doesn't matter where I go, Montgomery, Lowndes County. I was down in Mount Vernon 2 nights ago for a community meeting. All over the state, residents are very concerned about this issue, and they feel that it's being forced upon them, that there's not a whole lot of public input, that there's not a whole lot of transparency. Tommy Tuberville is running around saying that Alabama is basically going to force data centers on communities, and that's a real concern about the electricity. There is a state bill that was passed last session that says that data centers have to foot the bill. But we have to do even more to make sure that there's a even more rigorous review process, making sure that the data centers are not going to create noise pollution or pollute people's drinking water or bath water. So I called for a moratorium. I said, look, we need to put a pause on these things because it's a huge issue. And Republicans, particularly the top of the ticket there with Tommy Tuberville, they want to force these on Alabama without listening to the concerns of residents.
Give me some of that. I'm pretty sure you've done your due diligence to do some research on this. Give me the negative side of data centers.
Yeah, so let me say this. It is not a one-size-fits-all, and I'm not completely opposed to them. But what I do want is for us to put a pause on building them because we need to look more into it and make sure that communities have more of a say. Some of the concerns with it could be everything from noise pollution. So it could be that there are loud noises coming from all hours of the night, making it that people can't sleep, that no matter what, they're hearing this buzzing sound. Another issue is it can pollute some of the drinking water and the water that people use to shower and bathe. That can create, of course, health effects in the long run. In a lot of these rural areas, so like I've been in Lowndes County a few times, they're really concerned about it because it may impact the quality of life there, and whether it's hunting land, fishing land. So this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's not a rural or even urban. It's an issue that's transcending party and race. People of all backgrounds, and we need public officials that are willing to stand up to the corporations. We need public officials that are not just going to take money and take donations and go along with it. We need elected leaders that are going to listen to the people in every single community.
Talk to me like a third grader.
Sure.
What is a data center and what do they do?
Yeah, so what they basically are the brains to operate AI. So we keep hearing how AI is taking over and it's going to be used in everything. They require a lot of data, a lot of power to generate all the information and all of the technology that they're doing. So the data centers will help AI grow. And look, AI could be good in certain ways, but the big concern with these, data centers is that they may end up having some really negative impacts on our communities right here in Alabama.
Are you the least bit concerned about AI and its implementation in our schools and our jobs? Are we at least? I am concerned, and I realized that when the car came out, they said horses was not going to be used anymore. We're going to put them out of business. Well, we still got horses. But are we sure that it's going to create more than it takes from us?
Yeah, and I think like any technology, there are pros and cons. So look, a few years ago, we probably couldn't have done this
right.
podcast virtually. So there are benefits to technology, but I am concerned that with AI, that there are people that are going to lose their jobs. There are people that are working really hard and will be out of work because of AI. And what we need to do is make sure that we're training them, that we're providing them with the skills, how to learn another trade, how to learn another profession, maybe how to utilize AI. If they know how to use it well, they can implement it in other future jobs. So there are pros and cons, but I think the most important is that we don't let the rich and powerful just benefit off of this while the average working person suffers. We have to make sure that your working person, families that are trying to make ends meet, that they reap the benefits as well from AI, because some of these companies, they're just going to run off and make hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't care what happens to people here in Alabama. They don't care if they lose their jobs. We need to make sure as state leaders that we're educating people, preparing them for the changes that are coming.
And one of the things it seems that they're doing, they are scaring the hell out of people with age on them. I mean, there's how many commercials on TV now? Well, you've been here 13 years and you're not using AI, so you're fired. Is there any legislation being thought about to protect people of a certain age? So, I mean, if you want to leave your job, that's one thing. But are we really going to let a lot of machines put people out of a job who still got to eat, still got to pay rent? Is there any legislation on the forefront here that's going to protect people?
Yeah, I mean, look, part of that is our free market system, and that there are changes in the economy and the workforce. There are laws that prohibit age-based discrimination. So there already are some laws on the books, but I think looking into ways that we can help, particularly elderly people, and make sure that people aren't completely out of work and out of a source of income, because we all suffer when that happens, and we do have to make sure we look out for each other. So I think looking at legislation, looking at programs, looking at ways to offset some of the negative consequences of data centers would make a lot of sense.
Wow. But right now there is nothing. And another thing about all this AI stuff, it seems that, I know the president was talking about this and Congress was talking about this. There needs to be a standard of use that's universally adhered to in the United States. Because if every state, if every city, if every town can use it the way they want to, then we're going to have a mess on our hands unless legislation makes everybody, there's no uniformity right now in this. Is there anything that you guys are thinking about to make it somewhat uniform?
Yeah, so some of that is certainly on the federal level. But on the state level, one of my big concerns is that, and I was in North Mobile County 2 nights ago for a town hall meeting on a potential data center there. And North Mobile County is pretty rural. It's unincorporated. So they don't have any sort of zoning there. So these companies can come in rural parts of Alabama and just build these massive data centers. And people who are living in rural parts, because they like that it's quiet, they like that there's more land, they like that quality of life. Something we could do on the state level is say, well, there has to be some zoning laws in place that these big companies can't just come in and force themselves, particularly on rural communities. And I think that would create a little more uniformity. But look, I said this at the town hall down there in Mount Vernon. You have lobbyists and special interest groups and companies that they're throwing money at politicians. They're throwing money at campaigns. I cannot be bossed and I cannot be bought. And we need people in there that are willing to listen to the voice of residents and help them deal with these changes to data centers and make sure their communities are protected.
Mm-hmm. I want to put this in and you tell me if I'm wrong, in an elementary presentation. Data, if you have a credit card and you go into a restaurant and you use that credit card, that data goes someplace, not just in a credit card business. You get anything online, that's data. So it's my understanding that these data centers are the places where all this information somewhere out there in virtual world, all that information is gathered and kept. Am I somewhat essentially correct?
Yeah, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on all the ins and outs of everything on the data centers, but yes, part of it is that their storage, where they store data, so they store that electronic information. But another part of it is that they act as if almost like the brains. I think someone said they're schools for saying that they're schools for them, but the data centers also act, instead of having people operate the machinery, the data centers themselves are operating to have the AI technology work. And I'll say this as well, some politicians will say, oh, well, it's, the data centers are economic development and they're creating jobs. A lot of those jobs are temporary. I mean, and it's good that, there's some electrical jobs and there's some labor jobs to build them. But once they're up and going, they don't really require a whole lot of human power, a lot of manpower of people actually working it. And that's where there's a big concern of what does that mean for people here in Alabama, as far as their jobs. And also what we're seeing is that elected officials, county commissions, they're giving tax abatement. So they're giving free taxpayer dollars to these companies that already can afford to build, that already can afford to operate. Yet meanwhile, we have people that are struggling to put, gas in their car, that can't afford to buy all their groceries, that can't afford to pay their electrical and power bills. So we shouldn't be giving government handouts to big companies. We should be making sure that working people in Alabama, are able to get ahead.
Is Montgomery giving tax abatements to for this data center that's coming here? Do you know?
I'm not sure about Montgomery, and I know it's varied by county, but I think that it's something where yes, we should incentivize and want to do things to recruit businesses to have economic development. But I'm concerned about tax abatements for companies that can already afford it.
Well, I listen. I want to do that too, but Alabama Power is not giving me an abatement on the bill.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think companies who make millions of dollars, Meta, Microsoft, or whatever they are, and Zuckerberg, hell, they got plenty of money. Why in the world are we paying them, giving them a break to move their business here? I don't quite understand. Ain't nobody give me a break.
I know, and that's what is so messed up about all of this is that you have people that are working hourly jobs that are trying to make ends meet, and then we're giving the tax breaks and the handouts to the rich. Right here in Alabama, if you work overtime, so if you work a few extra hours, to bring in a little more money, maybe to pay your power bill, that Alabama Power continues to increase, and what happens is the state taxes that overtime. So that's crazy. But then you have these companies that are getting tax abatements. So what we should do is change policy on the state level and say, well, we're going to give a tax cut to people that work a few extra hours every week, people that are trying to make ends meet, and we shouldn't then be giving tax breaks to these people that can already afford it. And to your point, I know for years you've been bringing up the power bills and how crazy that is. And look, I'm all for companies making money, but not at the point where people are struggling. I mean, I get calls. I mean, it is, brutally hot out there. I mean, I get calls from constituents and people that say to them, well, they're like, that can't afford to keep their AC running because it's going to be too expensive. And you have elderly people that are home, and that's a real health concern. And we need to prioritize, people's health and their well-being, over, big profits and things that are hurting people.
Okay. Speaking of electricity, Alabama Power is on TV right now telling us how they lowering the prices, how they're going to keep the prices where they are. Hell, when you made all the money you possibly can make off of us, we don't have much money to give. So that's a bunch of propaganda, as far as I'm concerned. My bill ain't going down at all.
Yeah, no. And look, every time I open it, I mean, I'm shocked at that price for just one house, and it's really, I mean, people are having a hard time, and you add in, like I said, the grocery tax that adds a few extra dollars on, the price of gas from the war, is going up. You see that people's electrical bills, health insurance costs are going up. I mean, all these things people just can't get by. And in Alabama, we need to do a better job of trying to support working people and do things that are going to actually help them get ahead and not suffer.
Yeah. And I could see giving a company a tax abatement if they hire people.
Sure.
But hiring electric companies to supply the electricity, that's not helping. That's not helping me. That's just taking it up. But anyway, I guess y'all going to work this out. But I'm just telling you, I'm skeptical that it is going to work the way that they say it's going to work. That at some point they're going to come back and say, well, and it always happens. We got cost overruns, like the water thing we got out here, Whitewater, whatever it is. I mean, it's done. It taxes overcome the prison in Elmore County. What's it, $1 billion prison now?
Yeah, and now that's delayed even more, and they're saying it may cost even more money. And then you hear, though, and this is what I'm glad you brought that up. And again, traveling the state, I'm in a lot of these rural areas in particular, but it's obviously an issue here in Montgomery as well. But hospitals are closing or on the verge of closing, and they don't have the money yet. The state will figure out when the state wants to spend money, they'll figure it out. And we need to prioritize putting money into hospitals and making sure people have access to rural health care. And let me just add this in on the data centers. And I see a couple of people commenting about Lowndes County. I was at a county commission meeting there a few weeks ago, and people are really showing up and packing out some of these community meetings, these county commission meetings. And I encourage people listening, really continue to use your voice, continue to show up at city council meetings, at county commission meetings, call on your state legislators. Those of us that are elected, we are there to listen and respond to you. And too many politicians, are out of touch. They're not listening to those concerns. So to everyone out there, I know it's frustrating at times, but I really encourage you, continue speaking up, continue showing up. I'm certainly listening, and I hear your concerns.
Yeah, unfortunately, we find out about the misconceptions after we've been deceived. We don't. I don't know. You're still in the legislature right now, right?
Technically, yes. My term is until November, but the legislature is not in session right now.
Right.
I wish we were back for a special session because we have a whole lot to do. We could, pass a lottery bill. We could expand Medicaid, keep hospitals open. We could do, put a moratorium on data centers. There's a whole lot we can do if we were in session. So I wish we were, but it seems like that in Montgomery, the focus often is on elections and campaigns and not enough on governing and doing for the people.
The education budget last year was $10 billion. We don't spend $10 billion on education. Where does that money go?
So you mean as far as like there being things in the education budget that are not really educational? Right. Yeah, and that's something where there's not a definitive definition of.
I know there is.
What goes in the education budget, and I think it's a valid concern. And I hear all the time people say, oh, if you can't get it in the general fund budget, try to get it in the education budget. It's a valid concern, and I think that anything in the education budget should truly be for educational purposes. I know the things that I've gotten in the education budget are things like a conflict resolution program, so helping teach our young people how to deal with conflict without picking up a gun. Funding in there for
it ain't working.
Well, we have to keep trying. And look, and every loss of life from gun violence is tragic and horrible. I know that it is scary. But we have to do everything we can. And I'm not gonna say, well, let's just throw up our hands and not try. The conflict resolution program, I think we need to have even more of it.
And listen, and conflict resolution politically sounds so nice, but the truth of the matter is, as long as there have been human beings on God's green earth, they have fought each other. We're not going to change that. Kids have always fought. They always will fight. I don't know if all these programs we putting all this money into, a good paddle though would help some of them.
Let me say this about right. It is human nature. There's always going to be physical conflict and people are going to fight. But if we can get a young person to say, hey, instead of picking up a gun, maybe I'm going to take it out with a fist fight, or maybe, instead of picking up a gun and doing it, I'm going to, go, take it out verbally. I mean, and that's what we mean by conflict resolution of saying, hey, at least deal with it in a way that you're not going to pick up a gun. And I would say this, that if we can save one life, if we can stop one shooting, look, I taught it, this at Lee High School. I've lost, 14 of my former students in the last 14 years to gun violence. If we can save one life, if we can stop one shooting, I mean, that is
and I agree with you. I agree that, but the fact of the matter is, though, it's still going to go on. But I hear you. I hear. Because if it's my child that gets shot or something like that, I'm going to be hurt forever in my heart. And I don't want that. I mean, we've had in Montgomery recently, though, we've had people shot in their home, not being outside, not going anyplace, not fighting anybody, just at home. Is there any way? Listen, I Second Amendment's cool with me. I made a living carrying a gun for a while. I got that part. But this walk around Montgomery with a rifle in your hand, this just no need for anybody to know that you carrying a concealed weapon. Not even law enforcement don't know. Are we trying to lower the population in Alabama with these stupid laws where people can walk around crazy with guns and nobody knows they got them? Is that what we're trying to do?
Right. And Kevin, about 5 years ago, the state legislature, they ignored the law enforcement, they ignored the sheriffs, they ignored police chiefs, and they did away with permits to carry a gun. And ever since that, the city of Montgomery has tried to pass reasonable public safety ordinances. They've tried to do things at the legislature. Those of us in the Montgomery delegation and Representative Hassel and I in particular have really tried to have some reasonable public safety laws around this. And then you have politicians that are afraid to do it. And they say that, well, they're afraid of getting a bad rating from a special interest group. And they're concerned about that and not concerned about, saving lives. They're not concerned about, helping law enforcement. At the end of the day, right, this is about trying to do things. And I say this all the time. Laws cannot stop every act of gun violence. It cannot stop every crime. But if you have a combination of parents, raising their children well, you have the role of the church and religion and faith. You have good community groups and mentors, but then also, those of us in elected office passing reasonable things. And as lieutenant governor, something I would really advocate for is allowing cities like Montgomery to do more of what is best for them. Right now, anytime Montgomery wants to try to do something reasonable, the state says, no, you can't do it.
Because we don't have home rule. Right. One couple of questions. I know you're busy. Ammunition. The Constitution mentions nothing about ammunition. So it seemed to me that we could put one hell of a tax on it. And to make you, if you want to buy it, you're going to have to really want to buy it real bad. Why not do something like that?
Yeah, so let me give some insight on the mindset at the legislature. We had a bill last session that passed and became law that creates a tax holiday for people to buy guns and ammunition. And that tax comes out of the education budget. So instead of helping fund, make sure that our children are able to, eat breakfast and, have a, textbook and, have the best quality education, we're taking money out of the education budget so people can buy more ammunition. That's the mindset at the legislature. And that's why we need change. That's why we need people.
Why doesn't people like you who concerned, but why don't we ever hear about it? I didn't know that. Why don't somebody ought to be on Channel 12, Channel 8.
I'm looking, and some of us got up and fought against that at the legislature. There are so many bad bills and things that come up every day. Look, coming on your show is certainly a way to educate people. I use social media to try to keep people informed as well. But we have to continue to get the word out. And not pass these kind of backwards policies.
Okay. One more question. I know you're busy. Dads, fathers, a lot of our kids, especially our young males, they're not fatherless because every child has a father, but they're dadless. Why don't we do more to punish men who don't take care of their kids? Seriously, there needs to be a consequence. Except because those kids grow up to be young adults. Those young adults grow up to be, those adolescents, the adolescents grow to be young adults. And that 5,500 bed prison in Elmore County is going to be populated with mostly a group of people that I'm familiar with. Why don't we do something legislatively to punish a dad who won't take care of his child?
Yeah, so one, I think it's hard to legislate morality, and it's hard to legislate forcing people to do the right thing in that sense. But what I would say is that it could have the unintended consequence is that if you end up punishing a father for being absent and throw him in jail, well, then it's even harder for that father to be present and be in his child's life. So I don't know that criminalizing and throwing, men in jail for not being involved in their children's lives. That's going to make it that they're. Well, they're not in their lives now. So we need to do something. We do have to do something about that. And I think, the best ways to do that are, through clergy and faith and through encouraging people, with community leaders need to step up. Even they're doing a great job, but need to do even more of continuing to encourage that. But it's something as a society we have to do better at. We have to encourage it. I don't know that criminalizing it though.
It is criminal to have kids and don't take care of them, don't discipline. That is criminal. What the Bible say? Bring up a child, whatever it said, and show them the way to go. It is criminal. But that's just me. I'm not going to get you involved in that kind of like. And in your faith, isn't there a responsibility for the father to take care of his children?
Absolutely, no, and I think from a faith standpoint, absolutely. I mean, it's. I think the question though is, should the government get involved in trying to force that or penalize people? Absolutely, from a faith and religion standpoint, and look, the studies, and show that when you have a 2-parent household, certainly a father and father figure, I mean that can make a huge difference in the lives of our young people. And look, and I'll end on this note, that's I certainly do my part, and I know a lot of us do to try to be those male role models, try to be mentors in the lives of young people. That does not change. Look, my dad and I, he was the person in my life I admire most. He passed 3 years ago. I miss him tremendously every day. Nothing can replace your actual father, but certainly having mentors can make a difference as well.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on. You always come when I call you, and I appreciate that. And even for a Democrat, you're all right. I mean, you think reasonably. I can handle that. Now, this LGBTQ stuff, we got to talk about that one of these days too. But
and let me, last thing, and that's why I'm running, because we need people in office that are reasonable and thoughtful and are going to look at the solutions and listen to people. So it's always good to be on. To all the listeners out there, hope you have a good day and know that I'm going to keep fighting and keep doing everything I can to help make it.
And good luck on your race for lieutenant governor. I'm sure you'll make it though.
I appreciate that, Kevin, and I won't forget about your show when I make it there. I'll be happy to come back.
I appreciate that. I'm used to being forgotten about. Anyway, Philip Insler is our guest. Been our guest for the last few minutes here. Running for the lieutenant governorship of the state of Alabama. Last I heard, you was going to go back to New York, but I'm glad you changed your mind.
I'm glad I did too. And on a personal note, my dad had lived up there, and I again was having a hard time, after his passing, and wanted to be closer to some aunts and uncles and cousins up there. But my heart is here. I love serving here, and looking forward to continuing to serve and fight for the people of Alabama.
Okay. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Kevin.
Mm-hmm. All righty then. Let us go. All right. I got to take a break for a second here, but I'll be right back in about 3.5 minutes. So y'all just hang loose right quick. 3-minute break. I got to go get me some milk, because I have to have milk. I have to have at least 2 glasses of milk in the morning. And then we'll come back and close it out right after these. Well, I won't say commercial messages. I mean, a break message. I guess that's what we're going to call this, okay? So, 3-minute break. And we shall be right back. Uno, dos, tres. Momento. Okay? So, y'all hang loose. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, let's bring that down there a little bit there. Bring that down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, listen, and I realize you cannot legislate morality. I understand that. But we do it all the time. We tell people you can't go but a certain speed down the highway. Well, what if I want to go that speed? I mean, who are you to tell me that and I understand the reason for the laws, because some people are irresponsible and they don't understand what they do affects others. Well, you know what? If you don't raise your boys, you are going to affect somebody. How many people are dead right now in the last 30 years since this whole abandonment thing came to its climax? How many people are dead right now because some father didn't do his job? He didn't take care of his kids. Even if the woman is crazy, you still have a responsibility. And you picked her. She picked you. You picked her. And I don't. Me and parentship, I didn't know nothing about it. I just knew you had to feed the kid, make sure he had a place to stay and stuff like that. But I didn't. My father left. I saw my dad one time. But now my mother was tough. She really was. She was kind of tough. She said, "I'm gonna whoop you so they don't have to." And after I grew up a little bit, I understood that. But we don't even believe in corporal punishment anymore. I mean, how many instances do you see on Facebook where kids are actually cussing out their mother? And it's not AI. They're actually cussing out their mama. And the mom said, "Well, you shouldn't say that. My mother would have hit me in the mouth. I'd have still been hurting now." Well, I'd say things like that to my mom. She didn't play that, But anyway, so much for that. But there needs to be a reckoning with this absent father. You don't got to live in the same house. Trust me, I couldn't stay married to anybody. But one thing you wasn't going to find me doing is forgetting my boys. I love them to death. As a matter of fact, I can truly say they probably the only thing besides my country I would have died for. So when you love your children that much, you don't want them to do stupid things. Okay. You just don't want to do stupid things like robbing, shooting, cutting, and things of that nature. So if anybody out, one more thing I got. Here's a question I have to ask. Now, I'm out of AUM yesterday, right? I went to AUM. My son, I went to AUM, and some ducks were walking across the street. I mean, they were walking across the street as if they own the street. I'm asking myself, who told ducks that they got a right to stop traffic and walk? I'm talking about walking slow. And then he had 10 little bitty ducks behind him. I mean, that's what I'll call arrogant. I'm really, seriously. I mean, do somebody train the ducks to do that? Or is that just the way they work? I mean, they just take their time going across the street, and they're beautiful. They are beautiful looking animals, but come on, man, I'll be in a hurry. You be duck dinner next time I come out there. I'm just saying, I wanted to say, I keep forgetting I got this camera in my, on my phone, because I should have took a picture of them walking across the street like that. Do all ducks do that? I mean, I know they kind of like fly in tandem. They fly in formation, don't they? Or do ducks actually fly? I don't even know if they fly or not. I think they used to fly. I don't know if they fly or not anymore. Do ducks fly? I really don't know. I haven't seen a real duck in a long time until the other day, and 10 of them walking across. I mean, they just sat there, and it's kind of like they looked at the car and gave me the bird, And what am I gonna do? Run them over? No. So I think they were laughing at me, actually, But that's okay. I'm just saying that I think there's an issue with ducks in Montgomery. I mean, you don't just get to walk around and hold up traffic. Okay. Anyway, let me see. Montgomery and Dalreda Road, a woman accused of shooting inside from my car. I mean, these guns are just the proliferation of guns are just terrible. And I want to know who in the legislative body of this state does not believe that there ought to be some way to keep potential dangerous people from getting guns. You can always do it illegally, but the state does not have to participate in the criminality of people by telling you can walk around with a gun and nobody has to know you have it. I'm just that's crazy to me. You can't. That doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Okay. It makes no sense. Like these people right here. Okay. I'm sure. Okay. I'm sure. Let me show you these people right here. Okay. Stop screen right there. Go to there right there. Share screen. Let's go the whole window. Let me see if I can get that right there. Yeah. Let's see. Now these two right here have been. I guess they won it in connection with Dalreda Road shooting. They got partners. They're partners. Okay. That guy right there kind of looks like Aronde Mitchell, but I'm sure that's not him. But anyway, sheriff provides new details on the investigation. And no, I got that there. We this Nolan thing. That's that child that got killed over in. Remember him? That's that child that got killed over there. I'm trying to figure out why is it taking them so long to figure out what happened. I mean, there ain't but a couple of things. Either he was killed or he accidentally died. It seemed like to me that somebody killed that young man. Okay, Nolan Wells. I mean, it seemed like to me somebody killed him. I don't know who these guys are right here, but maybe they'll be caught sooner or later. I don't know. Another man, has been hospitalized during a Tuesday afternoon shooting, according to we shoot. Okay. And here's a young 27 years old right there. I think it's the hair. I think it's the hairdos. Really, I think it is. I think it's the hairdos. Okay. It's the hairdos. Now, this person right here, was charged with custodial sexual misconduct, a felony. Whew. Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, I guess. Accused of sexual relations with inmate serving life for capital murder. Well, I don't know. There are many things that go on that I don't know much about. So what else is on you guys' mind? Anyway, I started the show off today with a talking about something happened out in Sheridan Heights, and some of the people out there on Facebook whining about the people who are running for office. They didn't even come out here. How are we supposed to know people shooting out there? I mean, seriously, how are we supposed to know that you got an idiot on the loose out there shooting people? And if you do got an idiot out there shooting people, why in the world would I want to come out there and get shot at unless I brought my own gun? Okay, I mean, really? Yeah. Those are y'all's kids out there, y'all's uncles, y'all's brothers, y'all's sons, y'all daughters out there who doing those stupid things, or their friends. Don't blame the people who trying to run for office and try to help you because they shot people up out your neighborhood. We didn't do that. It was just so unrealistic. And I finally figured it out. Black people look at government totally different than other people look at government. We have a tendency to think that government is there to solve all of our problems. It won't happen. It hasn't ever happened. It won't ever happen. And like Ronald Reagan said, a government that's big enough to give you everything is also big enough to take it all the way back. So you know what? There are just some things that we as individuals have to handle ourselves. Sometimes it means that you won't be able to handle it. Then you come to us and we help you out. The government come help you out. Okay. But like I believe, I really believe that if you have a child that is being disrespectful, disruptive, incorrigible, I believe that you take him downtown to the Department of Youth Services and you let him stay a week there. Okay. Let him stay there a week. He gets told when to get up, told when to go to bed, no game, no PlayStation, no nothing. Exercise and school is all you get to do. I really believe that the government can at least do that if you've shown that you've done all the things that you need to do. Unfortunately, there are a lot of parents who don't do much of anything. Okay, they just don't do much of anything. Schools don't believe in paddling nowadays. Okay, so if they're not getting disciplined at home, if they're not getting disciplined in school, the only place they are going to get disciplined is where? Come on, we can say it all together. Okay, you know. Okay, you know where it is, right? You know where it is. If you don't get it at home or school, this is the only place you're going to see it. And by the time you get to jail or prison, it's too late. It's too late. You're already on the wrong path in a quick way. Okay, so that's so somewhere along the line, you have to take responsibility for what you do. Hey, somebody said protected ducks are so the species. I didn't know that. Really? Hello, you're there. Don't you know? Okay. Now you gonna let somebody else get a word in? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's in two. That's in two. But that's in two. That's. But do you believe? Right, but do you believe that people purposely are not getting it done? They got so many people, so many machines they got to do it with. I mean, hey, I don't get to do everything in my house sometimes. It's a little bitty place.
Okay. If they don't get it cut, see, they used to come by and stick the little stalks in the ground saying that, you know, you got so many days, or they're gonna come out and cut it and find you.
Yeah. But again, you can only do so much work in a day.
Calvin, in certain neighborhoods, they would call. They're gonna be out there the same day or the next day to cut it. Okay. They don't wait till the grass gets damn near 4 feet tall before they send somebody out. It shouldn't be no reason at all. This grass should be that high.
Now, why don't you?
That's the only spot I see. It's a couple more spots down the road.
So why don't you be a good citizen, grab a lawnmower, and go over there and cut it?
I'm making the point to you that you got to pick out things you want to do for your community. The people may need grass cut over there, so put that part of your platform. Say, hey, I rode around the neighborhood, I saw stuff needs to be done, so I'm gonna complain about this right here. That's what I'm trying to help you out, brother, man.
I do have a plan that will allow the city to cut some person's grass if they're sick and they can't do it. I do got a plan for that.
What about the ones that are able-bodied in the house and they got the kids on there playing on the computer all day long, won't make the sun go out there and cut the grass?
That's an idiot parent. Can't do much about that, but fine them. But there are people who have cancer, older age, who are dealing with medical problems. They cannot cut their grass, and they don't.
I understand that right there now.
Yeah,
I understand that. But yet and still, in certain neighborhoods, they ain't gonna allow this grass to get no more than that.
That's right. Because they probably
they
got the money. They got the money.
I was living in a place one time. My lawnmower tore up, Calvin, and somebody told on me because part of the grass, some of them got the long stems looking scrap, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the grass not really that high, but it got those long little stems that go up probably 12 inches. They go by the stems in order to find, say you need your grass cut. That's what I was told during that time now. But now the whole bushes and trees and everything growing up in certain areas, okay? So that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. You put these people in the office. That's my point I'm trying to make to you. We put these people in the office. They don't do a damn thing.
Well, I can't say they don't do a thing because I'm
talking about some of them.
Right, but even the ones you think don't do anything often, they have jobs.
I'm gonna go back to Orlando Mitchell. Orlando Mitchell does his stuff. I called one time when I was in that Woodland Road area at one time. He took cat out potholes.
He's out there, but maybe some of the places they don't. Maybe everybody should call, but these guys have jobs also. Now I'm the only one.
I know that, but
I'm the only one who won't have a job. I won't.
So if you get that job, if you get this job on the city council, sir, if somebody calls you and say, "Cal, I need this thing," you need to try to do something.
That's gonna be my job.
That's what I'm trying to make you. So you getting all offensive and getting your feelings hurt anymore because I give you tough love. See, I'm giving you tough love, and you can't have a tough love sometimes.
But I know, but when you ask people, what's your platform? What's this? What's that?
You got to tell me something. You got to be able to tell me what the hell what you gonna do.
You have to know. Okay? You have to know.
You're gonna get the grass cut. You're gonna make sure that people garbage is being picked up. Make sure the neighbor don't part the damn.
But that's obvious.
The grass and all that mess.
A lot of that. Wait a minute. That comes under day-to-day operation. That's under the mayor's purview. That's not the city council's job.
But what I'm saying now, so the mayor for the potholes.
Yes, they are. The sanitation department.
No, Mitchell told me he took care of that. He told me.
Now our job is to let the mayor know that these things are taken care of. But it is the mayor's purview.
I understand that. I understand you got to talk to the big boss about it. But you don't talk to the mayor. You talk to the department that over there. You talk to the department.
Now, I will tell you one thing that the city council has the authority to do that they rarely do it, and that is initiate investigations on any department under the city. So if you complain about a department or somebody, they have the right and the authority to initiate an investigation.
What about cars blocked on the blocks in the yard and all behind the house?
If Codes is not doing their job, then the city councilman can initiate an investigation and find out why that's there. But a lot of these guys, y'all how many houses in Montgomery? A bunch of them. So, they may not know that they don't set no.
But Calvin, Orlando Mitchell, he stays on TV doing stuff with the apartment. He does stuff all the time. I can go back. I can support him because he's this man works
all the time.
So
I like him.
He works all the time. He gets stuff done. Boy, you keep on making excuses for the rest of them. Talking about how busy they are.
I'm not there. There's nothing I can do.
I know that, but you sitting there hypothetically speaking, telling me how busy they are. You don't know who in the hell that is.
A lot of them got jobs.
I know they got jobs. I mean,
they can't just look out for you. They got to look out for the whole place.
But get that damn grass cut over off of Cherry and Ryan. Somebody. Okay. I mean, somebody know that. Somebody maybe listen to that. Know who's for that area over there.
I'll call the mayor's office and tell him that you.
Okay, Cherry and Ryan Street.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let him know. I'll let him know. Whew. Okay. Oh, congratulations to Z. Z got promoted in the military. A hell of a lot faster than I did. Okay, just got to say congratulations. He got, let's see, promotion. He got promoted to E4. You know how long he's been in there? A year and a half. You know how long it took me to get E4? Like 3-4 years. Come on, man. And he's in the reserve. He's not even on active duty. And he's getting promoted already. I think if you get promoted in the reserves and you go active duty, I don't think you get to keep the rank. I don't think you do anyway. Anyway, we'll check on that later on in the world. But anyway, congratulations to Z. We call him Z, but his name is actually Zuriel. Zuriel. Congratulations to him doing this thing for his country and stuff like that. And pretty soon he's gonna outrank Dad, so I'll have to see him and do push-ups. Okay, not it's been a minute though for that to happen. So I'm just saying, but he's had it 18 months and you're already in E4, man. Come on, brother. You must be doing something right down there. I don't know. What an asset to the United States Army Reserve, my son. I told him, but I said, hold up now. You may get deployed, so don't worry about it. If it happens, just deal with it. Do what I told you to do. Do what you're told to do. Lean on your training, your NCOs, and your officers, and just do what they tell you to do. And hopefully you got some good guys leading you. If not, call me on the cell phone. I'll come over and visit you. Anyway, gotta go. Z, that's right. Got promoted to E4. Man, you know how long it took me to make E4 in the Army? Although I talk too much. I do it. Then once I made E5, I barely kept that. But when I did get it, I kept that rank for 5 years, even though the last year I was on the list. But the E6. But if they retire you, you don't have your rank for 2 years, you go back, you get retired at the last rank. So that's the way it goes sometimes. So much for that. But the outstanding specialist, Elkins, now all he needs now is a set of airborne wings, and then I can leave him alone. Okay, if you don't have no airborne wings, though, it makes the uniform not look as good. Okay, so let's go to let's go to Fort Benning down there and get yourself some jump wings and join the Rangers. Well, okay, don't worry about the Rangers because you may not be tough enough for that one. But get some airborne wings, okay? Get some wings. That'll make the uniform. You ever look at people's uniform? The ones with the wings on it, the uniform always looks better. It looks good. It's always starched, look good. And wearing that beret makes you stand out. Okay? I wore the black one, the green one, and the maroon one. Okay? Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures. Because at that time I was catching hell. So I wouldn't think about a picture. Anyway, well, listen, I'll see y'all next week. Unless something happens over the weekend that just I got to come on tomorrow and talk about it, but probably not. Used to be somebody getting shot was something worth talking about, but it happened so much until it's just not news anymore. It just, we just hope that ain't somebody we know. Anyway, so have a great day, everybody. I hope this day finds you well, and congratulations to Z for making E4, the United States Army Reserve. And now I told you, all you get with an E4 is just enough rank to get in trouble. So don't think it's, don't think. Until you make E7, keep your head down, okay? Keep your head down. So I got to go. But we'll replay this show later on today around 3 o'clock or so, okay? So y'all have a great day, and thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, vote for Kevin Elkins for District 3. September the 1st. I know hardly nobody knows me out there, but what can I tell you? But I will look out after you. I don't make promises. I can only make one promise, only one, to work as hard as I can and to be dedicated to the job. Okay, that's all I promise. I just promise to work as hard as I can. Often we make all these promises we ain't got nothing to do with. Okay, I'll work as hard as I can for you. Okay, and I will make you a priority of my day and not an interruption in it. That's all I can tell you. Okay, no matter which neighborhood you live in, no matter what part of town you live in, if you're in District 3, you're like my brother and sisters. Okay, you're like my brothers and sisters or my mom and dad. Okay, so I'm gonna take care of you. Okay, I met a lady yesterday, 80 years old, out in Sheridan Heights. We had a good conversation. Yeah, I had to go out. I went out and got her some orange juice. All right. Anyway, so see you guys later. Alligator, have a great day. And the lesson of life is the same thing today as it was yesterday because I forgot to change it. So it's still there. Okay. Aristotle says piety requires us to honor truth over friends. What is piety? Piety means devoutness in religion, a deep reverence for God, and faithful duty to natural obligations. What is a natural obligation? That of a father. That is a natural obligation, and a mother to her child. That's a natural obligation. That way, I think when you go against that, when you don't take care of your children at least the best you can, I think they should chemically castrate you so you can't put no more on life. You can't make no more. They should give you permanent ED. Make sure that thing can't get up and go no place. That's just me, though. That's just me. All right, then. Let us go. Y'all have a great day and all that good stuff. Now I got to go in there. Yeah, I'm gonna go and do things with that. And remember, it is not the falling down that gives us the strength. It is getting up each and every time we do. So fall if you must. Just don't stay down. Keep getting up. In the mountains of our lives, there will be plenty. But the mountains in our lives are to give us strength for the climb. So the next time you hit an impediment, just remember, it's there to make you stronger, not weaker. Have a great day.
Thank you, Lord, for every breath I take, for the love that heals and the joy you make in the tapestry of life. I see your grace, every moment filled with your warm embrace.